Hi there, it's Sam from poodles.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. Today I wanted to show you a little gift soap treat present box that opens out at the front like this, so you can see where your treat or your gift or what have you would go inside, and then it has a pull close system with a little handle that's on the top. When you pull it, it closes back up. I wanted to make a box, well, this kind of came about originally because I was making a box that would hold A6 cards and envelopes, and I liked it enough so that when I'd finished making it, I wanted to make a smaller version that, you know, you could make to match. Maybe if you were giving a set of notebooks, you could do your A6 size cards, but then miniature ones. So this would hold 3x3 cards, or for my lovely soap maker friends, it would hold their soaps as well. So I've done this with the same designer series paper on the front. It's from the T for 2 designer series paper, which is in the spring catalogue. But as you can see, this one had predominantly the Pretty in Pink, so I did it on the pink cardstock, and this one had predominantly the Island Indigo, so I did that on the Island Indigo cardstock. But the one I'm going to do now, the designer series paper I've chosen predominantly has So Saffron, so that's why I'm going with this colour. Really, really quick and simple to make. The cardstock measures 9.5 inches that way, 5.5 inches this way, and all it is just half a dozen score lines. So on the long side they come at 2 inches, 3 inches, 6.5, oops, and 7.5. Turn it round and score again at 1 inch and 4.5 inches. And that's it for the scoring, so I'll move that out of the way. And then if you can see that, you've got kind of like a little square that you've made, 2 there and 2 at the top, and we're just going to snip up on those. So just with my paper snips. Oops. Snip all the way up on all of them. And then around, and on the opposite side as well. And then when you've done that, you need to decide which is going to be your top and which is going to be your bottom. So this essentially is the back of the box. So if we just sort of quickly, but not over hard, quickly fold up on the score lines, and then decide which is going to be our front and back. So again, just kind of roughly putting it into place. I think, oops, yes, I think that will be the top. So that's going to be the one that sits over the front. So what I want to do with this crease here at the top, so it's the second one, I want to go backwards and forwards just a couple of times, just so that when you open the box, it's not going to try and pop open. Just get my bone folder. So there we go. And then this pulley system that's inside, it is stitched in, and I am going to put some holes in. So with my paper piercer, knowing that this is now my top, we're going to put the holes in this section here. It's not hugely important, you don't have to get out a ruler, but about 1 centimetre in from the score line. And there, I'm just going to make them a bit bigger than the paper piercer, just so that the baker's twine will come through quite happily. And then on the front bit, under here, which you can't see, there are more holes here. We're going to be covering that with the designer series paper anyway, so that wants to come in about 1 centimetre and up about 0.5 centimetre. Okay, and then we need to put some on this section here that are going to, where the pulley system works there as well. So again, about 1 centimetre down and maybe about 1.25 centimetres. And the same on the opposite side. There we go, I'm just going to make that hole a little bit bigger. So that's the holes for the stitching purposes. Let me put that safely out of the way for the minute. And now we can start putting it together. I'm going to use Tombow just because I want to be able to manoeuvre and manipulate my sides if I haven't, you know, I think sometimes when you use stronger adhesives that, you know, once you've got it in place, and if it's in the wrong place, you're a bit done for. So this one here, this flap goes on the outside. Normally we're all into, you know, hiding the flaps away, but it doesn't matter because we're going to cover this one over, and I didn't want it seen on the inside. Tombow dries nice and quickly, so making sure you're lined up there. Same on the other side. Tombow doesn't want to play. One's coming out. Bear with me a moment, I've got some more. There we go, one that works. Always good to have plenty of supplies on hand. So just putting that up as well. There we go. And then some more on this section here. Too much is going to come out now. And where you need to make sure it lines up is actually where it's going to fold over and fold round. And again, just holding it in place. And that will dry nice and quickly. Same on the other side. There you go, and that will hold in place. And then this bit on the top, we do want these to come inside, so obviously you don't want them sitting up, but that's not going to attach down there. So, squodge of Tombow there, and lining it all up again. Some more on the other side. And again, just line it up and hold it in place. This is why I like Tombow, because there's room for manoeuvre. So there we go. So that's holding now. Now we're going to start stitching. I suppose is the best way to describe it. I've got some of our Whisper White Baker's twine. I've already got it set up on a darning needle. And the way to do it, you do end up with a knot on the top, but when I was building this and coming up with this and sort of fiddling around, I couldn't get it to work. The pulley system wouldn't work if the knot was anywhere inside, because it kept catching on the holes and it just wouldn't close. So it has to go on the outside. You could stick a little bow on there, or you could put something else. It's not a big deal. So through the top, I do have plenty of length on the Baker's twine. And then into the first of the top holes that's on the score line, and then through back again. I need a bit more length. Through this one that's going to be on the front, and then over. Oops. Over the front, and then back through these ones on the score line on the crease again, and over at the top, and back through that section which is going to be the top and which is what's actually going to make the handle. So you can pull it about if you've got too much length. I have, but I'm not too worried. For now, snip those out of the way, tie a knot, and like I say, you know, you could I don't know, attach a piece of ribbon to that knot or something like that, and you know, make it less of the knot and more about the aesthetics. So trim those bits off, and that's the pulley system done. And literally, when you pull, it will all close down. So we're going to dress this bit up now, cover it over. I've got designer series paper in the same same pattern as this, but as I said before, it was more of the yellow that was on display. So with some mini glue dots, because I don't want to go over this line here. So where's my bottom? The bottom part is there. So these were kind of not on the bottom line here, but kind of more over, higher up, and then in the top corners. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, I hope you can, I've not come along the bottom line because I don't want to block that string. This measures 3 1/4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. And then the same on the bottom. Oops, 1 in each corner. You could probably use snail for the one on the bottom, but the mini glue dots are here in my hand, so I will use those. And same on the bottom there. And then for the flower, all I did was I got the 1 1/4 inch scallop circle, and I punched out one in the So Saffron, and then one in one of the backing papers that, one of the pattern papers that was in the similar colour. And all I did was I snipped down and then was able to sort of manipulate and form the floral shape. So I'm going to put them all together with a brad. And this is from one of the Subtles collection. They're just gorgeous. And I've got a So Saffron one here. Put it all together. Open it up. And then the sentiment I used is from the My Friend collection, which is just lovely, and I wanted My Friend here, so I've punched it, or rather I've stamped it onto some Sahara sand, just because I didn't want the vanilla, I wanted a slightly more muted colour. I'm just going to flag tail the end, just with my 1 inch square. Maybe I'll make that a little shorter. There we go. And then onto the back with some, yeah, I'll have some more mini glue dots, I think. Just to stick that in place. And some more on the back there. Pop it on the front, and I will lift up the flower bit now. And that is it. That is as simple as it is. It's literally, it's one small piece of cardstock, scored 6 lines I think it is, and then stitched with a pulley system, so when you open it up and you pull, it will close itself back down again. And that's how you keep your gift inside. And I think they're lovely. And like I say, my original was a much bigger version that holds A6 cards and would hold, oh gosh, probably about 6 or 8 of them in their envelopes without any problem. And then the miniature version that you could put little mini cards in it, little gift, anything you fancy. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'd love to read some comments below. I do try and reply to, well, I do reply to everything. Anyway, thank you very much. Bye.